to get started, then I just want to start by thanking you for taking the time to chat with us at the Christian Beat, all about your latest release, Welcome to Bloodline.
Thank you. Yes, it's out. Hurrah.
That's awesome. And so I always have to start with kind of how long was this in the making for you from when you first kind of had that idea?
Yeah, honestly, it's been since like 2020 when COVID hit, lockdown. So it's been honestly 5 years in the making, which feels like such a long time. But we made it. There's so many times I wanted to rush it, like let's just go, go, go. But I'm so glad it's come out on the day that it came out and totally the right timing. But yeah, it's been a lot of it was honestly, basically wrote half this record on Zoom, over lockdown. So with dear friends from all over the world. So yeah, half of it was written in a room, in real rooms, face to face with people, and the other half is literally yeah, online, which miraculously worked. So yeah, I'm so glad that it's now out and was able to record over 6 months in London too, which is amazing. So yeah, lots it's kind of yeah, this has been such a labour of love in the making of all over the world, but also near home too, which is very special.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm curious, since it was 5 years in the making, was there any kind of your original vision that kind of morphed as the project was coming together?
Yeah, do you know what? I think at the start of making it, I wasn't like making it, if you know what I mean. You're just like I was just writing songs with friends because what else do you do when you're stuck inside? And I think it was like, oh, I just love writing. And so I think it started there of just a love of like what was going on and wanting to put things to songs. And then um I remember when I started writing. I was in the early stages of pregnancy with my first child. And I think that in itself just shifted my thinking of everything, but specifically also with songwriting of, um, oh, wow, this is so different now. I'm not just like writing like for my own self, my own journey, but actually like these songs, I would love my children to sing them and my children's children to sing them and the legacy of that and what do I want to say? And I think it shifted so much in my songwriting of what do I want my children to know? And what do I want them to sing and declare over themselves? And so it definitely morphed more. Then I had another child amongst it all. So I had like I've had two little boys in this journey of writing and recording. And so I think and even God, just what he was speaking to me about, all about generations through just being pregnant and all that's my ancestors and what's in my bloodline, what has gone before me, like good and bad. And now what am I passing on to my children now that I'm pregnant? What do I, what's the prayers for my children and what ends with me? What do I need to get rid of? So I think it's definitely been such a journey of um, yeah, the big picture of family, the big picture of bloodline, and but also, and now I've got two little children to who are singing these songs, which is just the most beautiful thing. But yeah, so it's definitely I think it started there, and then it's now I didn't have the title Welcome to the Bloodline until we finished recording. I was like, I still don't know what this is. Like it's got themes of generations, it's got things of family and breakthrough and freedom and his faithfulness. But what is that? And I remember recording Bloodline and just singing out this ad lib of like just welcome to the bloodline. And after I sang that, we listened back like that's it. That's exactly what this whole project is about is come on in, welcome to the bloodline. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the evolution of it all.
No, that's funny. And you actually covered one of the other questions I was going to have for you because I was curious if the title of the album kind of came first or if it was the Bloodline, the track that kind of came first and which one kind of influenced the other. So
Yeah, yeah. Bloodline was written way before the actual like album title came about, but definitely that song Bloodline is like such a focal track for the album, definitely for me of like this is yeah, and it's in the middle. So it's kind of like shouldering like the both sides of the project of like it's all about this and it's all about this, but at the end, the blood of Jesus and that we're welcomed into the bloodline is the most extraordinary thing that we could ever fathom. So yeah, definitely that came first and then the title came after.
That's awesome. And I also do want to just ask real quick about the album art because it's such there's such like striking colors and it's just like such that moment. Just if you want to take through kind of getting that photo and putting that together.
Yes, honestly, it was so much fun. Like I love artwork anyway. Like I will listen to a song because of the artwork. Guilty. Like, like I will going through playlists and stuff, and like if the artwork, if it jumps out, I'm listening to the song. And I know that, I study photography when I was younger, and I just love art. I love design. I love fonts. I love colors. And I knew that this project, I want it to be so married with the songs, like whatever the artwork would be. And for the singles, like I want it to be just as excellent as the music that I hope I was creating. Um, like it needed to marry. And I think um I knew for this project I wanted my friends involved. I wanted um I was at home and now I wasn't signed to a label. It felt like the freedom also of just like, what should we do? Like we could get this person involved, we get this person involved. And so it really is such a collaboration of friends on this artwork. My one of my dearest friends, Henry, he creative directs the whole project. My dear friend Saskia, she made all the props. My friend Matt took all the photos. My sister helped me choose all the clothes. Um, just like, felt like such a collaboration of like friends coming together, and they are the best in their field too. This was so cool. Is like what they do day to day. They're just so good at what they do. But then to be friends with them, was like, yes, come on in, help me. And so the idea of this artwork, I guess every single artwork we wanted there something to be a little bit surreal in every shot. So it was like kind of like the normal reality, but then something that was kind of like that's a bit odd. And I feel like the intention of that was just that's what life is like with God, being welcomed into the bloodline. So I really like you really have forgiven me. That are you sure, or his mercy or his extravagant love, that is surreal. It's like, wow, have my sins really been eradicated? Are you sure? Like, yes. How can that be? It is surreal. It is like unfathomable. Is that a word? And so I think the intention of that was just like the big hands was just like, that's a bit odd, but we are saying a big wave goodbye to fear, not just a little wave, a big fat wave. Um, and then the big socks in Saw, um, just something different, but for the album artwork with the big egg. And um, that was just, it's again, just that push of like, oh, this is like a big feast he's got for us. This isn't just a cute little meal. Like he wants to lavish on us. And when we're welcomed into the bloodline, when we're in the family of God, when we've been saved and set free, like we are part of the biggest family you could ever think of. All over the world, we have brothers and sisters. And that is just so wicked to me that I've got a sister in the Philippines and I've got a brother in Taiwan. That to me is just so beautiful that when we're welcomed into the bloodline of God, we're part of a big family and there's a feast to be had. And He's ready for us to come home and sit at His table and tell us, stories and to feast. And so the egg, don't know why it was an egg in the end, but breakfast is just one of the best meals of the day, isn't it? So we went for breakfast and the toast and the orange juice is my favourite, so we had to have the OJ in there. But yeah, it was honestly a fluke though. Well, a God fluke of the background of the garden too. We
Mhm.
originally the table was up against this curtain with a door behind it. And the original plan was for there to be a curtain behind the table. And it was nicely set. And then I think someone said, oh, can someone just open the door? It's a little bit hot in here. And so they pulled back the curtain, opened the door, and then we realized there's a garden behind this curtain. What are we doing covering it up? And so in the end, it was just like this beautiful, yeah, like God made it work. And just now we're in the garden and it's, it feels like Eden, like the homecoming. So definitely significant that, yeah, that we were supposed to open the door to come in. Um, but yeah, honestly, it's such a collaboration of like friends though, and that's what I love so much.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Brings
yes,
it, something a little bit special to that too. Extra special.
definitely, for sure,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm curious then, so you kind of had your fun little debut kind of celebration as well. What other kind of emotions and feelings are you having with having all of this music officially out there?
Oh my gosh, I know it feels it's very again surreal. I just grateful, honestly. I just feel full and so confident that this is what I was supposed to do. I think definitely probably in the past I had a lot more fear of man and a lot more like, oh, some people need to like this. But honestly, I'm like, I love this. I love these 10 songs. I'm so proud of what we've done and with Troy, working with the amazing Troy Miller who's produced this project. Just I felt the most me in it all and alive and convinced of the truth and I believe in every word. And so I think more than ever, I'm like, I've done it. We've done it. It's out. And now we can go to the park and we can get on with life. And, it's just this, it's, and life goes on, doesn't it, too? It's like that was last week. Now it's out in the world for people to listen to, live with, share with one another, sing over. And then there's life to be lived, too. It's like, we've got to do the food shop and we've got to all the things that life is and goes to doctor's appointments and um but songs to like take us through that too. Hopefully these songs can accompany people to their doctor's appointments and to their food shop or to that nervous meeting they're about to have. Like this is why we do it and write this music for the
Oh,
people.
absolutely. Is there a track that in your current season now that's kind of speaking to you the most or kind of you're connecting with the most?
That's a really good question. Um I think What a Friend, the first track, to me, um, just listening to that and like again, like hearing my boys sing it, I think for me is just so beautiful. And I unintentionally wrote this song, not knowing that my dad also has a song called What a Friend, which is one of my favorite worship songs of his. He wrote a song called What a Friend I Found. And when I finished writing this song, that the title was "What a Friend," and then I was like, "Oh my days, my dad is also," and that's one of my favorites. And realizing again, like the thread of faithfulness and his faith, the faith of my father. Now I have faith, and hopefully one day my children, and just like thank you, God, that it's like it is the flame of faithfulness that does carry us through and that He's in it all. He weaves through it all. Um, and so I think for me, that song, again, the reminder of like, oh, the friendship that we have in Jesus, that we have access to Him as our Savior, but also as a friend. I'm like, that is not a little thing. That's a huge honor, isn't it? So that's definitely ministering to me again and again.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know we're cutting it close to the end of our time, but I did want to give you an opportunity here to just kind of share what's on your heart and what you're praying for as listeners come in contact with this project, and have it throughout their day or wherever they're interacting with it.
Yes, I would love people to know that they're welcome in and it's never too late to come home. There's like food on the table ready for you to come and feast with God, and He's not angry and He's not frightened of anything you're going to say to Him. I want people to know that their decision to follow Jesus will forever change their families future. It goes on, your decision to follow Jesus will forever change your bloodline. Um, and that is so beautiful, that whatever your family's past has looked like, whatever, yeah, good or bad, that you have authority to claim the things of God and also cut the things off that aren't of Him. Um, and yeah, come on in, honestly, that I really pray that people experience freedom listening to these songs. My own story of fear, living with fear for way too long, and experiencing freedom. That's something I want to shout from the rooftops, that people can experience freedom, freedom in their mind and in their bodies too. That there'll be healing listening to this project. Brother, both my brothers have played on this project too, and my brother Levi carries such a strong gift of healing when he plays the guitar. And I just pray as you listen to these songs that you experience healing as he plays. And my brother Noah, he plays drums, he's such a gift of deliverance. And I pray that people get delivered listening to these songs. And that'll be joy. Honestly, at the end of it, just experience the joy of the Lord, that you'll dance again. Um, yeah, all of it. Just know more of him, that all the good things come from him. So come on in and sit at the table, have a feast with him. Yeah, that's what I want people to know.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you again. I really enjoyed getting to hear more of your heart behind the music on this one.
Oh, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time too.